So I'm in the coffee shop one day and I'm just trading with my screen full of indicators, and this guy just comes and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trading. How's that going? Yeah, it's going all right. With all those indicators I can see on your screen, are you sure your trading is going all right? My trading is not going all right. I'm telling you, that was the best thing I did. I was like, how do you guys make money from this game? He actually took time to explain to me how things actually work. Go read this reports on JP Morgan on FX, what they think about the euro. Look at their projection and compare it to your projection. Does it correlate? No, it doesn't correlate, because you're so focused on the little indicators on 30-minute time frame to even see the bigger picture as to what exactly is going on. Don't be ashamed. If it's not happening for you, feel free to seek help.
Don't take your P&L as a measure of your success in the markets, especially when you start out. And the reason for that is you're not going to find consistency in the markets for some time. You won't have a 10K month, a 12K month, a 15K month, and so on. But what you can do is you can start measuring, well, I am improving in backtesting. I am able to find a strategy that has a 40% win ratio. Well, now I've improved it to a 50% win ratio. I have gotten my win to loss ratio from a 2 to a 2.5. I have gotten better at cutting my losses. I have gotten better at allowing certain trades to run. I have gotten better at defining pre-market movements, or the game plans that I had, they are working a lot better. If you start shifting your focus onto things that you can measure and that aren't P&L based, you will feel a lot more comfortable, you will feel more confident, and then you just won't get discouraged, right?
I've never in my life had a bed. I've slept on the sofa. I've slept on the floor. My first bed was in a penthouse. I was that broke. I made 40K in 24 hours on US 30. I said, yeah, stopping trading. 6 months on a penthouse. Let's go. In the whole of London, there is not a penthouse like that penthouse. Getting a taste of what's really out there. If you feel like you're in a position where you can do something, do it. Don't take opinions from passengers in your life. You're the one in the driver's seat. Relax, take it easy. So if you're in a position where you can do something that will make you feel better, it's not a stupid move. It's wise. People will never understand that.
The futures market. I've been trading for 7 years. I trade a very simple strategy. It is a trend line strategy with support and resistance. Some people are like, you've been trading for 7 years and you just use trend lines and support and resistance? Yeah, I do actually. What do you want from me? It's the most simple strategy you could possibly use, I feel like, or it's one of the few simple strategies, and I'm successful in it, so we're gonna use it.
90% losing every single, if you're trading wedges, if you're trading SMC, fair value gaps, whatever it is, it's 90% are losing, and it's because of the development of the trader. I feel like everyone now is just a pattern trader. People look for that without context, no higher time frame narrative. They see that on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and they're trading retail patterns, and they don't ever admit it. And the thing with SMC guys now, they kind of bash retail. I don't bash retail. I know so many people trading SMC concepts. The majority of Twitter right now is trading SMC concepts, but how many win? It comes down to the executor, right? And it comes down to the thing of they think they're trading SMC, but they're not. They're just essentially trading retail patterns.
What I'd focus more on is like the knowledge. I like to narrow knowledge down to your truth. I don't care whatever strategy you're using, whatever indicator you're using, as far as you've been able to find that autonomous in that and repetitiveness in that, then that becomes like your one thing. You know, I read that book, That One Thing. It also did affect my decision with trading. Like, what is that one thing? People post screenshots of trade entries and then they ask, which trader is this? And everybody's literally tagging Kojo. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of, okay, what I wanted to feel like I've achieved is what it is, because everybody knows me for that one thing. So putting in that strong focus, that monk mode, to just like master just one thing and then keep repeating it.
Just because you have a red day doesn't mean it was a bad day. Like, that could have been an A+ day for you. But people look at the money and it's like, oh, I'm terrible. I'm not a great trader. And then the negative self-talk seeps in, and now you're not making any progress because your mental's all messed up. The next day you're on tilt, etc., etc. It's just a vicious cycle. You know how comedians, where they say like a lot of them have like a dark past? Trading is very much like that. Like the best traders I know have like a sick sense of humor. Like, we're all degenerate. Like, we're always cracking jokes on each other, just making a joke out of everything, because you can't take life so seriously. Like, at the end of the day, it's a simulation anyway.
Literally, everything is a simulation.
I remember my first payout, it was 10K. I am rich now. And then 3 months after that, I have the biggest losing streak ever. I lost 9 to 10 accounts. I lost all the 10K. Something is wrong with me, not with the markets. We say, oh, liquidity sweep, manipulation. Bro, no, you are the problem. If your stop loss gets triggered, you are the problem and not the market. Even though if it's a crazy wick, it's still your problem, because you could maybe expect it, or you could maybe wait, but instead you just FOMO in, stop loss get triggered, and then you blame markets, or you blame spread, or you blame slippage, or whatever.
What is the most common mistake you see traders make?
They try to find that holy grail. They keep bouncing mentorship, then they keep bouncing strategies, the risk management.
I think the biggest problem people have is that time horizon on making it in trading is very tight. And they're like, I have to make it in 1 month. Instead of saying, let me give myself 2-3 years where I dedicate time to it instead of trying to hit home runs.
I spent years on the charts, and there's not many people that are doing that now. They're looking for the words and the information and the sound bites, the clips from everywhere else. So there's always this outside mechanism that doesn't help at all.
Let's say if you're stuck with one guy and you needed 6 months to get anywhere, but then you spend 3 months and then jump to another guy. If you don't even give the time horizon to one perspective of the market, you're gonna always be starting from zero. So people think the more perspectives you have, the more well-rounded you are. But I think it actually works against you sometimes, where you have this analysis paralysis where you got so many things going on in your head, and sometimes there's clashes, and then they just get lost and then giving up.
Reasons people suck at it is number one, people try to cut corners. If you go to someone that's like, hey, I've been day trading for 2 years or 3 years, ask them, okay, let me see your data. Let me see your records. Let me see what you've been trading. Let me ask you, what is your edge? When does your edge work? What market conditions does your edge work in? Like, you start asking them these real questions about their trading, they don't have answers because they wake up, they put on a trade, they make money, they lose money, they go on about their day. And they do that for 2-3 years. So they don't take it serious. So taking it serious is you having like a real process. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people don't have a good understanding about themselves, who they are, how they operate, how they think, how they process, what emotions ticks them off, what doesn't. And trading is something that it will expose you of all your flaws, especially your emotional flaws.
Within about like that year and a half, I must have done like every strategy. I had indicators everywhere. Nothing was really cemented like how these markets book. I got to a stage where I thought, this isn't working anymore, I'm gonna quit. This is how I ended up stumbling onto ICT actually. People keep asking me like, what was it like to be as a private student of his? Does this concept work? And is there an algorithm? There's a lot of people out there who say he's a fraud, he's a scammer. I came out on social media and I'm talking about algorithms. Bro, I was getting shot down. The algorithms don't work. Learning ICT concepts does not mean you're going to be a good trader.
So I'm a trader myself. I started in the bull run with crypto. In the space of 4 weeks, yeah, I flipped like 2 bags into, it was like 25k. It was like 4 a.m. One of my boys woke up, my phone's pinging off. I'm just literally like, why is this? My friend called me like so many times. I'm thinking either someone's died or something mad has happened with crypto. I liquidated all of my positions that were all break even, liquidated everything. I lost 25 bags in like 10 minutes. If I can lose 25k in 5 minutes, imagine what I can make. I don't know if it's a coincidence that I stopped smoking at that point in time when I made Cheese a 10 bar. I don't know if it's a coincidence that I got funded. I haven't said this on a podcast, but this is so important to me. Yeah, like one of the biggest things in my life is.
Let me educate you guys on how I actually trade. I do want to go on higher time frames and I anticipate thousands of pips into the future, and then I scale down to a lower time frame with a direction clear in my head from the higher time frame. Once I have a clear direction on the monthly and I plot my key levels on the weekly, I then come on the daily to look for the most immediate trend within the overall trend. I'll explain that. AUD/USD is heading south on the monthly time frame. We can't trade on the monthly time frame because these candles are massive, but I go there for clarity. Scale down to the weekly. You don't need any indicators for this. I just look left, plot the key levels on the weekly, scale down to the daily. Now the daily must have the same trend as the monthly. If the daily is trending against the monthly, then we'll probably have a medium term correction. So once I'm able to identify the daily trend, which is bearish and it's lining up with the monthly time frame, then I'm like, okay, I have a trend I can trade. Expand the daily and come to a 4 hour, then you can see the pullbacks. So there you have trading opportunities.